Today's day 3. I'm all dressed up and ready to go. Do I look like a hot chick with this dirty room in the background? I think the students are going to tow today, which sounds pretty awesome. I might even get a tow in myself. I've never done it, so I'm curious about it. But mostly, I'm going to kick off my day with a flight because the weather is right. So, sounds like fun. So the whole class is watching me launch, and there's no wind at all. If you look, that fog... It's been sitting there for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and it hasn't moved. And I got a full tank of gas and a bunch of students watching me. So I just really don't want to mess this up. We'll see how it goes. Prime the motor. Make sure the camera's straight. I'm gonna warm it up. And then hopefully we can launch this bitch. Alright, it's not like you're waiting on a wind cycle.
Never came up over your head.
Shucks. Clear prop. Let me try it one more time.
Yeah.
Clear prop. Fuck. I watch Kyle O'Glee. Shout out to Kyle O'Glee. He's a YouTuber. You can Google him. And he seems to launch with very little effort. Like, it looks like he barely pulls on his wing and it shoots up over him. And it's difficult to tell what kind of wind he has benefiting him. But I think trying to be Kyle has actually set me back a little bit, because when I launch, it doesn't look effortlessly. It doesn't look effortless. I dig like a sled dog and maybe make some old man grunts, and it's not beautiful, but it had been really effective. And I was trying to be like, oh, you know, I don't need to do what Kyle does, or I don't need to do that. I can do what Kyle does. And I don't know. I guess I'll dial it in eventually. But right now, Woody, you ain't Kyle, baby. If you probably a lot of you guys don't know Kyle O'Glee, but he's a super experienced pilot with over 500 hours and gazillion flights and very advanced. So maybe copying his style, I'm just not there yet. So probably the biggest adjustment I'm gonna make is digging hard right off the get-go. So I'm gonna center in the wing here. I think I'm centered. I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna really pull this bitch up and see if we can't fly. Fuck! Fuck. Alright. I've just had the worst flying day I've ever had. I didn't fly. And that's never happened to me before. I've blown launches. We call them abort in my area. I've aborted launches. And I don't like it, whatever. But I have never aborted like 5 launches and decided not today. That's never ever happened to me. There's no wind, which makes it hard. But I have set up literally uphill tailwind. Like the wind's light and variable, and then after I'm all set up and everything, I'm like, you know what? This is a tailwind, and still made it uphill. I'm not pretending to be more than I am. I'm just saying, like, I can, but I didn't. And after a couple launches, it's not that I'm too tired to keep trying. It's that I feel frustrated and angry and embarrassed. And I'm like, if that's going on between your ears, flying's not a good activity right now. So I kind of decided, like, you know what, I'm going to join the class. They're doing towing, which is pretty much forward launches, which is pretty much what I need to work on. So I'm like, I'm going to join that class, be a student, get this nailed, and, you know, then I'll come back and fly tomorrow. I hate that it went this way. I hate that I did it in front of people who I want to think highly of me. But, you know, it's where we are, and I kind of stand by my decision to just not fly right now, because I'm a little, I don't want to exaggerate, but I'm not happy. And I feel like if I were to go out there right now and lay out the wing again, I'd be like, just not in the right place mentally to do flying stuff. I take it seriously, right? The consequences of fucking up while flying are pretty big. So so let's do lessons instead of flying stuff. That's where I am. It's not where I wish I was, but it's where I am, and I'm gonna put some shorts on and be a student, and that's where I need to be. I just had the greatest experience. So what happened is I kind of got over my embarrassment, you know, because you just do. Everyone was great about it. What I'm saying is, to have a rough day in front of 7 instructors and one of them videotaping it was wonderful. Like I said, the reason I aborted because I wasn't the best version of me, and Ron, an instructor who's like an affiliate here, said, you know, you got to do a pre-flight check, and that pre-flight includes your head. You know, are you right? Are you mad at your wife? Is the pilot in a good place mentally? Eric Farewell, he goes to this air show thing where they talk about all the deaths that year, like from air show stunts, and there was one guy wasn't in a good place. You know, he's angry or something, didn't check his instruments, went straight up, did a loop, and it didn't work out. So anyway, I feel like I made the right call to not fly if I'm not the best me. But I feel really fortunate because we're studying video. I feel like if I went out there right now, I'd hit it because of an ant on me or something, because of the analysis we did. So yeah, it is what it is. I kind of failed this morning, but in the long run, it's going to be a super experience for me, and I'm happy about that. These guys are towing. I'm going to show that to you in a second, and then I'm going to do it. So they're kind of practicing forward launches and landings. There's something on me, and it's exactly what I need. So I'm going to give it a go shortly when it's my turn. All right, so this is what towing is. We have the pilot here lined up for what they call a forward launch, where he's going to run forward instead of go backwards and face the wing. You can't see it very well, but there's a long rope attached to his chest that's going to pull him. So this guy will fire up and pull this rope, which you can probably barely see. There's a pulley way down there, and it's going to pull him forward up into the air where he can practice his forward launches, and then at the other side practice his landings without the complexity and consequence of having a motor on his back. So they're about to go. I don't even know if there'll be a cut here. Travis has a radio, but I don't think he's going to talk very much. Eric has a radio, and he's going to talk the pilot through this whole experience. The pilot's job is to be a robot, to do what Eric tells him to do. You know, time to run, time to flare, time to do what have you. And then Travis is listening. You probably want to see the pilot. Travis is listening just to make sure he's in the loop. I'll zoom this in so you can get a better vibe for his landing.
Did you get any ants yet? Did you get any ants yet?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, they tore me up.
Oh, no.
So I was standing on a pile and didn't realize it. Now I'm like nervous. I'm looking around all the time.
All right, so that was a successful tow. He went, I'm going to estimate like 50 feet in the air, maybe 30 feet in the air, and landed on his feet, and everything went well. They have a winch operator separate from the, I'll call him a pilot operator. And anyway, I'm going to have a go at this shortly.
Hands back, hands back. Run faster. Hands back, run faster.
Much better job goes back that time.
Run faster. Pressure. 4 inches. Right there. Hands up slowly down. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Beautiful. Now we're going to climb.
So let's go back through that inflation real quickly. Inflation-wise on this one, look at that. You're a little tiny bit forward. You can see that and there's little divots. Yep. But so much better. Came back right away. Look how nice that comes up. So much cleaner inflation. Charging. Again, a little aggressive on the brakes. A little bit aggressive. I'll give you a pass. Okay. All right. Just be aware of it. Like oftentimes, I'm having to convince people to add more brake. In this situation, you added a little bit too much. That's okay. This flight was gorgeous, though. Nice and steady all the way across. And then your flare is really great here too. Nice, steady, progressive flare all the way down. Touch the ground right. One of the things I like to describe is that once your elbows go horizontal, like 90 degrees from your arm, that last, say, 7, 8, 10 inches of travel should be 7 or 8, 10 inches of ground, of air above the ground. So it's the touch. Right as your elbows lock, you should touch. So really nice.
Reverse back, a little more speed. Run faster, run faster, run faster. Release the aids. Run faster. Pressure, pressure. Hands up, slow down. Hands up.
See how little pressure he's using? He's using enough to pull him off the ground, but not too much. And as soon as he's off the ground, he starts feeding his hands right back up again. Okay, that's what I want to see. That's really nice.
Beautiful. Nice.
You immediately put the right correction in. You see that you're drifting left. You correct that really well.
Take a breath. Beautiful.
And now we see Bartow Airport here. So this is just up the road. This is like maybe 15 minutes northwest of us. In fact, you can see Lake Wales Airport.
So after me failing to fly, and then we towed. I even took 2 tows. I went twice. It was pretty cool. Worked out great. They brought me extra high because I had flown before. I like that. For that afternoon, we did ground school, which was a nice mix because you can only do so much physical stuff in one day. So a little ground school and a little, exercise type stuff is a good balance. This was learning about airspace. So he would teach us all out about how to read these charts and what these airspaces meant and which airspaces paramotors can operate in. Then we'd go through these exercises where he'd be like, all right, let's pretend we launched a missile from this point. Tell me all the airspaces you would hit at different elevations. And it was a really thorough thing. I learned a lot from it, and it was on my to-do list because when I go to an airport, oftentimes they'll be like, yeah, sure, you can fly here. You just need to respect our left traffic pattern or something like that. And I was like, man, I just want to know how to be a good citizen so that when an airport tells me that, I know how to behave appropriately. And that was covered in there. So anyway, super thorough air class. All right, so that's a wrap. That was the most thorough ground school that you can imagine. Good Lord. We know everything there is to know about airspace and sky vector and charts and such. I'm going to put this as a wrap here. Tomorrow, I'm going to fly and I'm going to succeed. So I'm sitting here visualizing everything from this morning and what I'll do differently. And some small corrections should make all the difference. And then I think Eric is going to hang out with me and work on some more advanced stuff, some spot landings and foot drags and such. So I guess we'll call that a wrap here. Gonna get some good rest, so I'm the best version of me tomorrow.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my mind, that's the reason I'm spitting now.